Welcome to the Pause, where small stories find their way to souls still gently seeking a place of peace. May your day be blessed with enough gentleness to breathe slowly, enough warmth to smile softly. Today we'll walk through a familiar moment that we often quietly overlook, the scent of morning coffee. Please listen with us. Morning hasn't quite arrived. Everything in the room still drowses. Even the light dares only to slip secretly through the curtain's edge. On the balcony, mist still lingers, clinging to the window frame like a memory unwilling to leave. Then the coffee's fragrance spreads silently, not loud, not deliberate, light as someone's breath just passing through a dream. A deep, warm scent that drifts past the nose and stirs the very mind. A gentle shock, like being awakened by a nameless longing. On the kitchen counter, the small coffee filter quietly drips. Each drip, drip echoes through the quiet house like drops of time falling into the early morning. Unhurried, unrushed. Only the silent patience of coffee pouring itself into the new day. The white porcelain cup releases thin wisps of steam. Early sunlight touches the wooden table gently, leaving a fragile streak of light like heaven's silk thread. This light doesn't shine but soothes, doesn't glare but caresses. Making coffee alone isn't just a habit, it's a ritual. A quiet ritual needing no words, meant for no one but yourself. Boiling water pours slowly over the brown grounds. Steam rises and curls like a silent dance. The coffee scent hasn't quite sharpened yet, but has already begun to seep, slowly, deeply, like memory threading into every corner of the early morning. Hands embrace the warm porcelain cup. Hot vapor fogs the glasses, dissolving into the air like the day's first awakened breath. The first sip, bitter sweetness touches the tip of the tongue like a gentle reminder. Today still exists, you still exist, and life continues, though ever so softly. Outside the window, the street hasn't fully awakened. Sparse pedestrians, drowsy vehicles. Instead of car horns, birdsong enters the space, clear and light as a question needing no answer. In that moment, the world outside seems to pause. Only I remain, coffee, and morning slowly opening like an unwritten page. Some mornings, the scent of coffee doesn't just call you awake, it calls back something that once was. As if in that misty vapor, there's the shadow of a familiar cafe, someone who once sat across from you, and an unfinished conversation that never needed ending. Back then, coffee was too bitter. I used to scrunch my face, but still drank, as if I had to learn to bear that bitterness to grow up. Then somehow, bitter became familiar. So familiar that each time lips touched the cup, I softly remember rainy mornings, a figure sitting still, gentle laughter weaving between the steam rising from hot coffee. Now sitting alone. On the table, only the coffee cup and sunlight cautiously creeping through the window frame. No one sits across from me anymore, but I don't feel empty, only full. Full of things that once were and things not yet named. The coffee scent remains rich, but no longer sharp-edged like in the beginning. Now it's softer, deeper, like memory warmed by time. Not something to forget, but to treasure. Drinking coffee in the morning isn't about waking up. It's about letting be, like a way to pause in time's invisible current, to sit down with yourself even for just a few brief minutes. The coffee filter still drips, slow as a clock's whisper. Each drop falls into silence, enough to notice the birds singing on the porch, wind brushing lightly through leaves, or the soft rustle of someone's shirt in the empty hallway. The first sip of coffee, still that familiar bitterness, but today a little more bitter, as if it also carries a mood. Or perhaps it's not the coffee that changed, just that you're slow enough to notice. Some mornings like this morning, you need only sit still, let the coffee fragrance spread, and allow everything to be gradual. Because truly, no one demands you hurry. You've simply forgotten for so long how to live slowly. Thank you for listening until the very end. May this morning's coffee scent stay with you, like a touch of gentleness in your heart. If you feel a little lighter after listening, you might share this story with someone else who needs a quiet space. Until we meet again in another story, on a day warm enough to smile.